Good evening, everyone. It's great to have everyone here in City Hall tonight. If you will, Madam Clerk, if you will, go ahead and call the roll.
Mayor Williams.
I'm here.
Mayor Pro Tem Caballero.
Here.
Councilmember Baker.
Here.
Councilmember Burris.
Here.
Councilmember Cook.
Here.
Councilmember Kopak.
Here.
Councilmember Rist.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you will, please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, I'll pass it over to Councilmember Rist for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If it is your practice, I invite you to rise with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you so much. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we'll start off with our ceremonial items tonight, starting with our proclamation of National Girl Scouts Day. Will be read by Councilmember Cook. Do we have a representative from the Girl Scouts? Oh, there we go. Hello.
Thanks for being here. All right, good evening, everyone. We read the proclamation. Whereas March 12, 2026 marks the 114th anniversary of Girl Scouts of the United States of America, the largest and most impactful leadership program for girls in the world. The Girl Scout movement began on March 12, 1912, when Juliet Daisy Gordon Lowe, a native of Savannah, Georgia, organized a group of 18 girls and provided them with the opportunity to develop physically, intellectually, socially, and spiritually. And whereas, for over a century, Girl Scouts of the United States of America has advanced its mission to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. Today, more than 50 million women, trailblazers, visionaries, and leaders, are Girl Scout alums who have made the world a better place. And whereas, girls say that Girl Scouts supports their mental health and is an accepting, secure space where they feel free to be themselves and where leaders and other girls are sources of support during difficult times. Girl Scouting is a powerful force for social connection and creates positive and uplifting national and global network among girls. Girl Scouts play an indispensable role in engaging girls both in and after school and through out-of-school programming and experiencing that expand their world and allow them to tap into their inner community builder, innovator, change maker, and leader. And whereas, at a time when civic education is missing from many schools, Girl Scouts engage girls of all grade levels in civics programming that deepens their understanding of community, action, democracy, and government, prepares them for a lifetime of civic engagement, and motivates them to take action on issues that are important to them. Girl Scouts offers girls 21st century programming in science, technology, engineering, and math, and outdoors, entrepreneurship, and beyond, helping girls develop invaluable life skills. And whereas, as a member organization of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts is a part of an international sisterhood of 10 million girls and young women in 152 countries and is committed to offering girls more opportunities to engage with communities worldwide, making meaningful global connections, and exploring global citizenship. Girl Scouts North Carolina Coastal Pines serves 17,407 girl and adult members across central and eastern North Carolina. Now, therefore, I, Leonardo Williams, Mayor of the City of Durham, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim March 12, 2026 as National Girl Scout Day in the City of Durham and encourage residents to join in celebrating the 114 years of civic engagement and providing girls a secure, inclusive, all-girl space to hone their skills and develop leadership abilities. Witness my hand in the corporate seal of the City of Durham, North Carolina, this the second day of March 2026.
Good evening. My name is Kylie. I'm part of Troop 3750, and I am proud to be a Girl Scout. Today we celebrate Women's History Month, a time to honor the courage, leadership, and impact of women who have shaped our world today. From scientists and teachers, entrepreneurs, and community leaders, women have broken barriers, created change, and opened doors for future generations. Women like Rosa Parks, who stood for justice, Dr. Mae Jemison, who reached for the stars, and Juliette Gordon Lowe, the founder of Girl Scouts, who believed girls can do anything. Because of their bravery and vision, Girl Scouts have been empowered to lead, serve, and make a difference. As Girl Scouts, we promise to build courage, confidence, and character to make our world a better place. History Month reminds us that our voices matter, our ideas matter, our leadership matters. Happy Women's History Month, and thank you.
Hi, my name is Jana, and I'm also from Troop 3750. From so many, Girl Scouts of the USA is more than an organization. It's a place where members discover their strengths, build confidence, and learn how to lead with courage and kindness. Here in Durham, that mission shows up in powerful ways through service, leadership, friendship, and opportunities that help girls grow into the best versions of themselves. I want to say thank you to the troop leaders and volunteers who give their time, to the families who support their girls, and to the community that believes in investing in young people. And to the Girl Scouts themselves, thank you for your energy, your leadership, and your commitment to making a difference. Happy Girl Scout Day.
Thank you all so much. I always tell this embarrassing story, but I was a member of Girl Scouts because I was a mama's boy and she was a troop leader, and I didn't want to leave my mama when I was a kid. So, but then all my boys, all my friends, they were going the other ways. I'm going with them. But yeah, I started out with my mom. So thank you all so much for the work you do. All right, and I get to do the fun part here. I'm going to read a few remarks first before I ask these heroes to step up. So, fun fact. Did you all know that we had enough city-owned streets in Durham to stretch from Durham, North Carolina to Dallas, Texas? It's a lot of roads that we own right here in the streets of, right here in the city of Durham. And that's not even in combination with state-owned roads and of course, the federal interstates. But tonight we have a special occasion, and it's quite eye-opening. So here we go. It's about Go Durham. Go Durham's fixed route bus operators drive 40-foot buses on the city streets of Durham for 8 to 10 and occasionally 12 hours per day, 5 days a week. They do this in an uncontrolled environment while stopping at bus stops every block or two, picking up and dropping off bus riding customers who are traveling to and from places of importance. The intensity of this kind of operation cannot be overstated. Even minor lapses in concentration can have disastrous results. That is why I don't take offense when I wave and they don't wave back. They do not, I know, yep, it's you, do not, they never take their hands off the steering wheel. 10 and 2. Here I am talking and losing my place. Small errors can easily result in costly damage to equipment, property, or other vehicles. Go Durham's top priority is safety. Part of Go Durham's comprehensive approach to delivering the safest transportation services possible is to recognize and reward safe working behaviors and achievements by our valued employees. In 2022, Go Durham started a new program called the Million Miler Club, and they get cool jackets. To be in this club, a bus operator must have driven 1 million miles or more in service in a fixed route 40-foot bus, and over the course of those miles, avoid incurring a single preventable accident. On average, it takes 12 years of service to travel 1 million miles. For obvious reasons, achieving this milestone award is a very difficult and amazing accomplishment. Those who have achieved it are very few, and now a part of an elite club at Go Durham. So over the last year, 3 operators reached this elite status. and I would like to call them now to join us in front of the dais. Tremetta Springfield, 12 years. Eula Michelle Bowling, 12 years. And Gregory Fudge, 12 years. Director Egan, would you like to share some remarks? And as you're doing that, I am going to ask the council if we could join them down in front of the dais to take a picture.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Sean Egan. I'm the Director of Transportation for the City of Durham, and I am so proud to be joined here tonight by Tremetta Springfield, Gregory Fudge, and Michelle Bowling, the newest members of our Go Durham Million Milers Club. So at Go Durham, as the mayor said, our priority number one is safety, but we also are focused on dedication to the Durham community. And what you see with these bus operators is people who every day, day in and day out, are here and helping and providing critical transportation in our community, and that dedication has paid off. And the third thing that I want to just emphasize is the commitment to excellence. They approach their job every single day with a goal of providing excellent service, excellent safety, and an excellent experience for our customers and our community. So we're so proud of all of our latest inductees into the Million Miler Club, and we want to thank them for their focus on safety, their dedication to this community, and their commitment to excellence. Thank you.
Can we get everybody looking over here for just a moment? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. You folks might want to really think about it. Is that okay? Hang on. We got one more here.
Mary Grace sent me the proposed changes to the agenda. That will prevent what's happening tonight, right? Because it will move to presentation.
Yeah, but they'll find a different item to speak.
All right, thank you all so much. At this time, I will proceed with council announcements. I'll start to my right. Councilmember Burris, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, colleagues, city manager, city attorney, folks in the audience, and folks joining online. Good evening to you all. I've got a couple of good news comments to start with. So first of all, for the Million Mile drivers, are they leaving the building? I just want to say thanks to Tremetta, Michelle, and Gregory. As Mr. Egan said, this is a really important role that these folks play in Durham, providing important safety for riders, the dedication to their work, and also the excellence they bring to their work. I think what's really critical to note is that these drivers, even though this is a job that it's a critical job, but not many people think about bus drivers in the same way that, like, maybe here on the council we might. Like, we spend a lot of time meeting with the public, but these bus drivers, in fact, are probably the best ambassadors we have for our city. They're meeting with residents day in, day out, thousands of or hundreds of them every day. And so they play a critical role as ambassadors for the city. And I just want to thank them for the important work they do and really lift up the safety they're providing for bus riders. It's great stuff. The second thing is I want to give a shout out to DDI. I think the mayor was at the groundbreaking for the Market on Market. So DDI has opened up a new facility right next to the Parlor, which is a retail incubator for small businesses in Durham. There's now 3 new businesses there. One is called Be Well Co. It's a local apothecary. The second business is Echo, which sells eco-conscious jewelry, body care, candles, and apparel. And also, is it Blank Space, Mr. Mayor? Is that what they, that sells kind of interesting stickers and stationery and stuff. So if you are interested, check out Market on Market there on Market Street, and also encourage you to check out all the downtown retailers in Durham. I also want to say big thanks to the Conference of Minority Public Administrators for inviting me to the President's reception last week that coincided with their annual conference here in Durham. This is a 50-year-old organization committed to empowering minority students, public servants, administrators, and government officials. And I want to say a special shout out to my friend and NCCU professor Nicole Diggs, who is the current president of the conference, for making it all happen, for bringing that annual conference to Durham this year. So big thanks to Nicole. I also want to say congrats to the Triangle Labor Council of the AFL-CIO for last Saturday's community event at Phoenix Square. I want to shout out President Terrence DeBerry, who leads the Triangle Labor Council, and all the staff and members of the Triangle Labor Council for being such a strong voice for organized labor in the Triangle. And now for the other stuff. So we just talked about, with a Million Miles, we talked about safety on our roads, right? We talk a lot about Vision Zero here on the council, the vision of having 0 deaths on our roads, whether for pedestrians, for bicyclers, or also for drivers. This weekend, sadly, we had a tragic wrong-way crash on the Sunday morning on the Durham Freeway that killed both drivers, including a state trooper who was killed in the line of duty. His name is Master Trooper Stephen Perry. He was only 30 years old. He has a son, an infant son, and worked in Durham County throughout his career as a trooper, his 6 years in Durham. So I want to, there's a GoFundMe campaign for him that's been set up for the family, for those interested. But our hearts and prayers go out to the family of Trooper Perry, and we honor his life and his legacy and his service. And finally, today, it's kind of a colder, dark day here in Durham. And I think also that reflects probably the way a lot of us are feeling in our hearts. It's hard to believe the news we saw this weekend, the horrible news about the latest bombing in Iran, the latest war in the Middle East. And this news now, more recently, of an expanded conflict there and potentially an sort of extended conflict in the Middle East. Our track record in wars in the Middle East is not good. The goals of this war are unclear. And once again, opinions on this war are divided among our elected leaders on both sides of the aisle. We also have U.S. troops in the harm's way. Once again, several have died. Hundreds, including school children in Iran, have lost their lives. And Israelis are scrambling into bomb shelters across their country. It's hard to know where this is going to end. And I know our job here at the local level is dealing with local government. Foreign policy is not our job. But yet we know when we're spending money on munitions and warships, it just means less for schools, for healthcare, and for housing. So I encourage residents here in Durham and elsewhere to reach out to your representatives at the federal level, express your feelings, let them know how you feel, and that we just don't want more endless wars in the Middle East. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember Cook.
Thank you. I will be very brief. I just want to say thanks to everyone who's here watching and watching online. I want to give a special shout out to my graced folks in the back. I had the opportunity to meet with them this past week and do an interview and get asked some really hard questions. And I had to go home and do some extra research, so that was exciting. And a shout out to all the community members who have also volunteered their time to work with these youth. We have some folks from NCCU, I see you sitting there with your video on, and other folks in the community who have volunteered and brought their expertise in, which is really awesome, and just incredible young folks who are future leaders. They're asking us the hard questions. So I want to really appreciate y'all for coming out to this meeting tonight and for the work that y'all are all doing in the community, every single one of you that's a part of Graced. And I also want to say that we had on Friday a second of our budget retreats. It was a tough day, I think, for most of us sitting up here. It's a big responsibility. Being a person who makes decisions for a city of 300,000 people is a really, really heavy thing to hold. It's such a privilege, and also it's really difficult. We have limited money and sort of unlimited ideals of what we would like to see and do in this city. And we're gonna have to make some tough choices this year. So for folks who are interested, it's a long day, but might be worth going back to do a rewatch of some of the conversations we had, including some pretty large funds that we're gonna be limited in this year, especially budget. You heard from the council a restatement of our priorities, and many of us, I think maybe all of us, are really committed to continuing fare-free buses. That was a top priority that we discussed. But some of these things come with really, really big costs. And so just to state that we're really working hard up here, and if folks have ideas, feel free to bring them to us. And I want to appreciate the manager and staff for setting up and working on the budget. And it's going to be an interesting season. So colleagues, I know we're in it for the long haul here, but just want to appreciate everybody for their work so far and for their work moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Kolpak.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening to everyone here this evening and joining us virtually. Also want to echo a sincere congratulations to our Million Miler operators. Grateful for their service, as I am to all of our operators and Go Durham staff for being the ambassadors and the incredible service providers that they are to get so many of us where we need to get across Durham. Second, on the consent agenda, I just want to highlight the expansion of the low-income homeowner relief program, which exists to help residents be able to afford their property taxes. And I just want to encourage folks who may need support to reach out to the county, social services. You can look online for information. We want to see as much uptake as possible in this program, and look forward to hearing more from staff about what we can do to promote awareness and access to this important program for our residents. Next, I think it's of note that this year, the holy months, holy times of Lent and Ramadan overlap. And I want to wish everyone who's engaging in self-reflection and deepening spiritual practice and awareness throughout these holy months the very best. I was really appreciative to be invited last week to a Ramadan iftar to celebrate alongside Mayor Pro Tem Caballero and many leaders from across the region. Was very privileged to take part in that. Echoing Councilmember Cook, just want to thank our staff for the budget retreat on Friday, Director Riordan, the manager, and all the staff who are helping us to navigate this budget cycle, which, as my colleague said, is going to be a difficult one. I was glad to see priorities like fare-free buses, emergency home repair, eviction diversion support, immigrant defense, living wages, programs like YouthWorks, and others rank highly as priorities among council members at the front end of the process. And we are going to have some tough choices with big price tags coming up, but I know we're going to do our best in good faith to listen and serve residents as we go through that process. I want to encourage everyone to attend the first budget hearing on March 16th. Which is an opportunity for you to come and express your priorities in the budget. It's important to express your voice at that time versus waiting, I think, for the manager's maybe official presentation of the budget. So we do want to hear from you. Please mark your calendars for that evening. Primary election day is tomorrow, so if you have not voted yet, please consider doing so and joining in that important democratic process. And happy Women's History Month. Thank you all.
Thank you. Councilmember Baker.
Good evening, everyone. It's so good to see you all here. Just want to lift up the silent heroes, the quiet heroes of our city, which is all of our city workers, the folks that keep things running every single day, that wake up early and stay late and work all night long. Emergency service workers who are showing up to people's worst moments of their lives and bad days. Really, really challenging moments that take a toll on physical health and mental health, and that requires support and solidarity across our city. And our hearts are heavy for losing folks in our city because of the challenging work that people have. And I just want to say thank you to all of them and everyone who puts their heart into making Durham a better place, and for committing their time, their valuable time, to working for the city and everyone else. And want to lift up especially the million milers who aren't here at the moment. Michelle, Tameta, and Gregory have been with the city for over 10 years. What a feat to be able to drive that amount and serve the people of Durham. We got to chat about many of their war stories before this meeting, and learn all sorts of things from them, and just want to show deep appreciation for them, all of our bus drivers, all of our emergency services workers, everybody who works so hard for the city. They are also our million milers in Local 1493. They are in a union, and several of my colleagues have lifted up some of our challenges that we are facing, both locally, nationally, and beyond. The way that we chart our way out of this is through unions, is through collective action, is through organizing, is through empowering folks in the working class and showing solidarity. So when we go and support workers who are trying to unionize in a factory or a warehouse, oftentimes our firefighters union is showing up. Our solid waste worker union and low wage worker union is showing up, as well as DGSU and other unions across our city are showing up because they see the power in workers coming together and demanding better conditions. So I do think that is vital. I think it creates better conditions. It creates negotiating power. I think one reason why we're able to keep drivers here to be able to accomplish this amazing feat of 1 million miles is precisely because they are in a union. So thank you, and look forward to the meeting.
Thank you. Councilmember Burris.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight, those who are in person, those who are joining us virtually. Glad to see you here on the 2nd of Monday, and 2nd of March, and happy Women's History Month. I want to uplift all the women in our community who may not actually get recognition, but have also been dedicated to doing the work of organizing, maintaining family. Women are also known to be mainly caregivers, so I want to celebrate all women who have paved the way for me to be sitting in this position tonight. I had the opportunity last week to do a couple of exciting things. I would say my favorite event last week was I participated in the Black History Story Hour at First Presbyterian Day School, and it was a joy to read to little kids. It was really interesting to be in that space and watch how some little kids are better behaved than adults. And it was just really exciting to see the joy on their faces as we read some really entertaining books, but also little kids would tell all their parents' business. So I learned a lot about their parents' boo-boos and who broke their leg. That was really fun and entertaining. Also, I had the opportunity last week to participate in 2 panel discussions. As my council colleague has already stated, Conference of Minority Public Administrators was held here in North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina, at NCCU, my alma mater. And so I got to participate in a really engaging panelist about policy, power, and purpose, and building leadership pipelines from HBCUs to public office with Representative Zach Hawkins, Representative Jordan Lopez, and former Durham City Councilwoman Deidreana Freeman. And also got to participate in the second panel about down payment assistance. So we facilitated facilitated by the CEO and former Durham County Commissioner, Namashina Burns. She is a master of facilitating and being in panels at the same time, so kudos to her. Also, primary election day is tomorrow, so just reminding everyone, if you have not cast your ballot, to please go out and vote. As we are in uncertain times, make us think about some of the actions of 2024. I won't get political here, but I just want to remind everyone, in watching some of the language and banter around this election cycle, it costs absolutely nothing to be kind. I look at people every day and think about how some folks, or what the young folks would say, are crashing out behind certain candidates, but you're going to come back and want to work with people towards November. And so we must not be so divisive in community. If you don't like a candidate or whoever individual, I think that it's just a character flaw for to come out and misrepresent that, or also just thinking about the dog whistles that have been very loud this election cycle, and just know that there are those of us who will not forget that. Also, to associate with what my colleagues have said, just thinking about what's happening in the Middle East right now. As someone who was raised on a military base in Goldsboro, North Carolina, and come from a military family, I was a child whose parent was deployed. And so just thinking about what that does to a family dynamic, or just also knowing if your parent may not come back from war, but also to land on a quote from the late Tupac Shakur: "We have money for war, but we can't feed the poor." So we see where our nation's priorities are right now in terms of how we treat our own people and what we have going on at home, and someone's willingness to go and conquer a land that we don't belong in. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good to be here with you. I appreciate all of my comments by my colleagues. I'll be brief. We have a hard budget season ahead of us. I'll quite frankly say it'll probably be the hardest one I've been a part of, and it's my 9th one. So that just tells you where our the hard choices we're going to be facing. And I appreciate Councilmember Burris's lyric quoting. I was thinking, I listened to Masters of War, Eddie Vedder's version, for all you Gen X Pearl Jam fans out there. And what made me think about it was that my daughter, she goes to App State. It's where I went. And for me, App State is where I became an activist. And where it started was School of the Americas, going down to Fort Benning, Georgia, and protesting U.S. American imperialism and militarism expansion. And she was posting around the Iran war 23 years later. So quite frankly, it was a pretty depressing moment to have your child at your alma mater in the same town that you were in, protesting decades later for another completely useless war that's going to kill, I don't even want to know how many Iranians, and I don't know how many U.S. American service members. And I'm proud of her. I'm glad that she's standing up. She's been doing a lot of political work up there. She was raised right, but it does not help those of us, and I think about the generation before who were standing up and fighting against the Vietnam War. So it seems like that's actually our tradition in this country. Our tradition is to start wars, create violence, and then not be able to have the money here at home, and the federal government leaving in our laps, and county commissioners' laps, and school board member laps, terrible decisions. And we're the ones who face you regularly. You're going to run into us in community events. You're going to run into us at the grocery store. Local government is the power closest to the people. And so it's not lost on me. On Friday, we had a really hard day trying to figure out how are we going to make this work. And then seeing, quite frankly, the bullshit that happened over the weekend from elitists who will never suffer, who will never struggle, who will never have to send their kids to war or worry about how they're going to pay their rent or how they're going to help their kid pay for college. That's not the decisions that they make. They don't have to. So I hope tomorrow when folks vote, please, A, go vote. Please vote for folks who are actually on your side and are not going to continue this endless cycle of violence and war. We all deserve better. Humanity deserves better. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues, for your very moving and powerful comments tonight. It is Women's History Month. Really excited about that. And I look forward to our young leaders, including Ava, if she's still here, continuing to pave the way for us Yeah, you're all spot on about yet another senseless war that's started by someone who actually used a poor excuse to dodge a war and allowing their ego to, I cannot fathom wording, if I was in leadership, to say we're going to lose some Americans. That's just part of it. I don't even know. That's soulless. So here we are, America. But it's up to us to make it the country we want it to be. So and tomorrow is another opportunity at doing just that. So please go vote and do your part. I, too, want to thank our young people for showing up tonight. Grace, thank you, Grace, for showing up. And thank you for always showing up. You all show up in the community no matter what. And many of you all are living in the daily struggle in which we're trying to fight on a daily basis. Thank you for not being afraid. Thank you for sounding the alarm that gun violence, especially amongst young people, must stop in this community. And I look forward to you all to continue to show up. And thank you for everyone who's supporting these young people and the work that they're doing. I look forward to being on your podcast and answering the hard questions. I was with GLOW, which is a girls group, young girls that go to middle school here in Durham who are mentored by young women at NCCU as well. And I was on their podcast this weekend. And also went to the community health fair at the Holton Career Center. Had a closed-door community meeting with the Cornwallis community, and I'll be doing a few of those throughout the city. That was quite eye-opening. And it's their stories to tell, and I will not speak for them. I'll speak with them and support their voices at the appropriate times. But let's go ahead and get to work tonight, and shouldn't be a long night. I'm not jinxing us. I think that we're going to be out of here fairly soon. We can get through this agenda, and let's get to work. And please, if you're like me, take your Claritin, because I think spring is like 2 weeks away, and I think it's here already, this pollen. But anyway, Mr. Manager, I'll pass it over to you.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. The city manager's office has a priority item, and that is to just update you that for agenda items number 12 and 15, additional information that was requested during the February 19th work session has been added to the packet. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Attorney.
Good evening, Mayor Williams, Mayor Pro Tem Caballero, and members of the council. It's good to see you. The city attorney's office has no priority items tonight.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council members. The City Clerk's office has no priority items tonight.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and read the consent agenda. All right, item number 1, Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities appointment. Number 2, Durham Historic Preservation Commission appointment. Number 3, fiscal year 2025-2026, second quarter financial report. Number 4, Bloomberg Center for Public Innovation grant budget ordinance. Number 5, Mayor's Council for Women 2025 annual report. Number 6, contract BR 11, National Bridge Inventory Structural Repairs 2026. Number 7, Utility Revenue Refunding Bonds Series 2026. Number 8, 2025 Equal Business Opportunity Program Annual Report Participation Goal Review and Ordinance Extension. Number 9, interlocal agreement with Durham County for joint funding of the Low-Income Homeowners Relief Program. Number 10, Limited Obligation Bonds, Series 2026 A and B. Number 11, 2025 Recreation Advisory Commission Annual Report. Number 12, which has been pulled, 2025 Fourth Quarter Crime Report. Number 13, contract with GeoConvergence LLC to implement ArcGIS indoors. So, resource person. Okay. Number 14, advanced meter infrastructure AMI meter transition project, phase 1 through 7. Contract number, and that is our consent agenda. This makes Councilmember Burrs very happy. All right, I will start with our pulled. Oh, I'm sorry.
I can make a
At this time, I'll
motion.
entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda. It's been moved.
Yes, with the absence of the pulled items. So moved.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Madam Clerk, please open the vote. Please close the vote.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. I'll start with our online speakers for item number 12. Speaker Donald Hughes, can you hear me? Do you see him?
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Hughes is not in the queue.
Okay, sounds good. I'll come back and need it. All right. At this time, I'll go to our in-person speakers. First up, Tiffany Swoop. Followed by Rafiq Zaidi and Amanda Wallace.
Good evening, Mr.
Welcome.
Mayor.
You have 3 minutes, but press that button right there on the right.
It's a button.
I can't see if it's,
Can-
oh, there she is.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. You're on. Welcome. You have 3 minutes.
I apologize, I left my glasses. Good evening, Mayor, City Manager, and council members. I'm not here to overly criticize you all, but I am here to be transparent, to share some of my fears and offer recommendations from my professional experience and also from my grassroots work in Cornwallis community. I want to first start off by saying thank you all for showing up 2 weeks ago after the peak in crime that occurred in the community. Thank you for allowing the residents to be seen and to be heard. Thank you for seeing them as individuals and not as statistics, which sometimes occurs from a corporate perspective. My fear is, one, I don't want to lose another child. I know these children. I love these children. I hug on these children. They're real people to me. I see their potential. I see their hopes. I hear their dreams. I would like to see their dreams come into fruition. And I also see a great opportunity for the city and the county to come together and make the best decision for the community, and I commend you all for the work that you're doing. I would like to, one, recommend from my professional experience, many of you know I'm a gentrification specialist, and what I've seen, I've done community development in many cities. I would like to recommend that Durham engages with the city of Birmingham, Alabama, Baltimore, Maryland, Chicago, who have all taken innovative measures and reduced the crime and the deaths in their city. It's possible, and this is a great opportunity. I would also like to compel you all to come out to the community more and connect with the people where the crime is really taking place. Get to hear their recommendations, get to see what their real needs are, and that's where we'll find the real solutions. And also, number 3, just come out, connect, so that you can see the kids as real individuals, not as their actions, because their actions probably stem from trauma. And their psychological patterns are going to be shaped by the experiences that they're living through. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Rafiq Zaidi. I reside at 807 South Duke Street, Nation of Islam Protocol. I would be remiss, I have many things to say in these 3 minutes, but I would be remiss not to mention Brother Andre Muhammad, Sister Carla Muhammad, who was murdered on the 22nd of February during Ramadan as we go to our national event, Savior's Day, Detroit. Brother Andre and Sister Carla was instrumental in mentoring me when I came to Durham in 2002 about street violence, gang violence. One of our main initiatives that we were working on prior to their death was the murder of Manira Spears, the 2-year-old who was murdered by a drive-by shooting, Cornwallis Road. One thing about these crime reports is that they never mention the cases that are being investigated. This baby was murdered in a drive-by shooting on June the 20th, 2023. City manager, police chief, law enforcement, cold case files. One thing we are tired of, we are tired of our babies being murdered. And it's almost like the whole community goes into a state of amnesia. If it was a white baby, I guarantee you, we would have heard something from Bo Ferguson, city manager, or Patrice Andrews by now. So I'm not here during Ramadan to get emotional, but I am very compassionate about my black babies. I'm warning you, you got to do better than this. In Baltimore, we are calling on people from Baltimore to come here and to help us. But one thing you miss learning from their incidents and their crime reduction in Baltimore, it has increased. Baltimore's crime has surged. So why would you be enlisting elements from Baltimore when apparently it's just like Bull City United? The crime goes up when we enlist the wrong people at the wrong time. So I'm asking you to study what you're doing and give us a better outcome than this. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Amanda Wallace, and I'm here today as a resident of Durham. And I have to take a breath because even when I come into this space, it just feels so delusional to have to sit up here and listen to everybody speak. And that's how I felt when I was listening to the crime report in the presentation from the chief. I had to actually turn down the volume, especially when the council members were asking questions, because again, it made me feel delusional. And I picked something to try to do some education today. And I picked it from the NAACP because even like white progressives and petty bourgeoisies believe in the NAACP. So I wanted to get something that might resonate. And it says the origins of the modern day the modern day policing can be traced back to the slave patrol. The earliest formal slave patrol was created in the Carolinas in the early 1700s with one mission: to establish a system of terror and squash slave uprisings with the capacity to pursue, apprehend, and return runaway slaves to their owners. Tactics included the use of excessive force to control and produce desired slave behavior. And the oath that they had to take was, I, the patroller's name, do swear that I will, as a searcher for guns, swords, and other weapons among the slaves in my district, faithfully and as privately as I can, discharge the trust reposed in me as the law directs. And, they said their oath to God. And so, again, when I hear the council members praising the police, when I hear the council members praising that we have more police positions, it makes me feel delusional to live here. When we know what people need, we don't need more policing and more surveillance. People need housing, people need childcare, people need their needs met. But y'all know that. How many more task forces, how many more round tables do we have to have in order for some implementation to happen? And I went and dusted off my safety and wellness task force book that was, being passed out in the community and all of the recommendations in here. And one of the things that I really noticed was with the recommendations, everything said, not yet implemented. So if the recommendations that you guys have spent millions of dollars for to convene these people that spent time putting this together, why are we going to Maryland? Why are we going somewhere else? Well, it is because the city has no goal of solving this problem. It is not going to be them. It is going to be the people that solve gun violence and all of the other systemic issues in this community.
Next up, I have Anaya Henderson and Abhay Charuku. And Kevin McIver. Welcome. You have 3 minutes, and if you can just pronounce your name and make sure I got it right for the record.
Good evening, Mayor Williams, members of City Council, and our Durham community at large. I am Anaya Henderson, a sophomore social work student with a minor in political science at North Carolina Central University, and I am originally from Richmond, Virginia. But today, I'm not just coming to speak as a student, I'm speaking as a student who is tired. Tired of scrolling and seeing another shooting in Durham. Tired of hearing my grade school students that I do service with say that they have to go to sleep to gunfire like it is a lullaby. Tired of watching mothers bury their children. Gun violence in Durham is not new, and that's the problem. It has become something that we expect instead of something that shocks us. It should always shock us. It should always disturb us because every single number is a name. Every single statistic is someone's child, someone's sibling, someone's friend, someone's cousin. As a social work student, I am trained to see humanity behind the headlines. Violence is not random. It grows in places where opportunities feel limited, where It grows in places where opportunities feel limited, where trauma goes untreated, where young people feel unseen, unheard, and unsupported. We talk about prevention, but we cannot talk about policing after the fact. We have to talk about investing before the crisis even begins, which is what we are asking this council to do today and going forward. We have to talk about safe spaces for youth, mentorship opportunities for our youth, mental health access, community programs that give young people a purpose and protection. Because when young people feel valued, they move differently. When communities feel supported, they respond differently. Durham is resilient, Durham is brilliant, and our people deserve more than just surviving. They deserve to feel safe. And I am asking this council to treat gun violence not just as a crime issue, but as a public health emergency. Invest in prevention, invest in healing, invest in our youth before they become the next headline. Because our lives are more than just a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and welcome. Anaya, can you please email your comments? Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Abhay, and I'm a fourth-year undergraduate Duke student. For the past couple of years, I've been blessed with the opportunity to serve as a tutor and mentor with the Grace organization at the Weaver Street Recreation Center, supporting teens and families from Cornwallis. I've been helping these kids with their schoolwork and have been opening conversations about college, their futures as adults in their respective communities, and mental health. I could say with certainty that the recent gun violence has shaken our community. I'm watching young, dedicated individuals become distracted, anxious, and afraid because of what's going on outside. Frankly, this is unacceptable. Some are scared to walk home. Some are struggling to sleep. And still, they're trying to learn, to grow, to believe that their future is bigger than what they're seeing around them. I believe that it is the city's responsibility to support them in this endeavor. Tonight's fourth quarter crime report is more than numbers to us. It's names, families, and kids I sit with each week. We're asking the city to respond with safety and hope together. For immediate safety, we need working cameras and a visible, consistent presence around Cornwallis and youth spaces. We need to invest in after-school programming, mentors, tutors, and paid youth opportunities to keep teens engaged in positive pathways. We need more trauma-informed mental health supports like Grace that are accessible in the community, not just on paper. Our families deserve to feel safe. Our teens are the backbone of our future, and they deserve the chance to thrive. We're ready to partner. Please stand with us and act with urgency. Thank you.
Thank you. Abhay, could you please also email your comments? And Ms. Wallace, can you please email your comments? Thank you. Mr. McIver, welcome. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin McIver, and I am the chairman for the Durham County Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. And we have been in partnership with Grace for the last 3 years. And I have been in the Cornwallis community on multiple occasions. The young people, if you've seen me in your community more than once, raise your hand. More than twice, more than 3 times. I'm there a lot. Even as a member of a board in this county, I show up day, night, or anytime. I represent this community as much as I possibly can while working a full-time job, while being on the capital improvement plan for the last 4 weeks as a budget delegate, looking through those and scoring at least 30 of those different projects that this city has. I also work at a psychiatric hospital with children, day in, day night. I brought my family here with me tonight because we live in this community. I take the time to go out in this community and to see what goes on with our children. That's what I'm asking you guys to do, is to go out in the community, come out to Cornwallis, come out to see them do their Thanksgiving, come out to see them during the summertime when they have projects going on. I'm asking you. I came to their first night of podcast when they did it. You know where they had to do it? At W.G. Pearson, because they was too scared to be in their own community. It's enough. I deal with this every day and know what trauma is for children. I watch children come to the hospital each and every day dealing with trauma. These kids are not getting the treatment in their own communities. Some of them don't have the insurance or the care or the way to get to the appointments. But we have Grace, we have social work kids, we have kids coming from Central, from the psychology department. We're doing all we can for these communities. These kids are dealing with trauma every single day. It is a diagnosis of hearing gunshots, and just like going into a war zone. We sat up here and we talk about Iran and what those people are going through, but we have a war going on in our own community. So when is it going to be enough is enough, and y'all start to show up and show out. I do appreciate the mayor because he always answers back. I did send an email out to every one of you on the panel, and I got one back, and that came from the mayor. And if it was sent back, it wasn't just because it was a melodomain. If I didn't get your address. But every single one of you got it, and I got one response, and that was from the mayor. He always answers my text messages, and he reaches back. And that's what I'm asking for the rest of the community. So thank you all. And please start to show up.
Thank you. I'll provide just a brief closing remark. I tried to, and thank you everyone for your comments. I tried to promote and amplify this overall plan. We are working with the city, the county, the schools, everyone, finally getting everyone on the same page. My personal bias is it takes too long, but we do have to follow a plan to get something in place. There were some remarks made tonight about the Community and Safety and Wellness Task Force. Very valid. There were comments made, hey, look at Birmingham, look at Baltimore, look at Chicago. Very valid. There were some comments of we don't need to go anywhere else. Look right here in the streets of Durham. Very valid. And the reason why they're all valid is because the plan, the organization that we're working with, does not bring a plan to us. They help us work with our boots on the ground, our local assets. And that's why I'm asking you to email your comments, because all of your suggestions, and young people, I want yours too. Someone said we don't need another task force. I disagree. I want our youth to have a task force to where they can speak directly to at least me and with this council to provide your suggestions. So what this organization, the Violent Crime Reduction Center, does is it come into your city and they work with your organizations and they create a framework. The framework is there, but they create a plan with our local assets. It's just asset mapping. It takes everybody who has an idea, everybody who's doing something already, and it basically puts all of that together. It takes because we've had recommendations before. We had the gang reduction recommendation. We had the Community and Safety Wellness Task Force recommendations. We have all of this data, and it's just all out there. We have to stop creating recommendations and then putting it on the shelf. So this violence reduction initiative is bringing everything we've ever done and everyone that is doing something right now and bringing it all together and putting a dollar figure with this so we can stop cheaping out lives. It's time for us to truly invest into making sure that we're saving our young people's lives, that we're getting to the root cause of it. Because what we're seeing, and this is the former teacher in me, I do not want to invest in crime. I want to invest in positive reinforcement. That's what we have to do. And so I appreciate everyone's comments, and I appreciate comments from people who agree with me and people who don't disagree with me. But when crime is high, we got to stick to the plan. When crime is low, we got to stick to the plan. There is some capacity that I'm working on to where we can do some activity like right now, and then we have the overall plan that's going to take some time. And I wanted to highlight once again, March 13th at 11:30 a.m. This is, at first I was like, why are we doing this in the middle of the day when people are at work? But then there are folks that work during the nighttime. And this is the first of many community meetings. So the next one is March 13th at 11:30 and then we will have, if you will, just go on the city's website.
I think March 20th as well, I think the next Friday.
Yeah, March 20th, March 21st. But these are going to be throughout the day. There's going to be in the mornings, they're going to be in the evenings, afternoons, so that we can get to people who are working around the clock to make sure everyone has an opportunity. And these are community listening sessions. Please bring your ideas. And then we're going to ask you to come back and we're going to ask you to be a part of building out the solution. And then we're going to have everybody contribute to actually being a part of executing this. When you mentioned Birmingham and Chicago and Baltimore, all of them use the same framework. All of them use the same. Okay. Oh yeah, it was one at the top of. Yeah, it was. Okay, I'll get to it. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that there is some work being done around this. I hear the comments. I hear folks saying we don't need to go outside of Durham. we're not going outside of Durham. We're working with an actual framework that has been proven across the country to work with us here locally. So I ask everyone, I beg everybody to please get involved, get engaged with this, and do know that, you know, this is going to be built with us, by us. All right? There is, I don't know how the form came in tonight. There was one speaker whose name was at atop of the grid, which I missed. So do we have Adon Bay in the room? My bad. I did not mean to miss you. Yep, come on up. And I was wondering, actually, when I saw you, I was like, why didn't he speak tonight? But welcome. Welcome.
Revolutionary love to the mayor, council members, and to our beloved community. Is mic on? Y'all hear me? Cool. My name is Kanaya Dawn Bermudez Bay. I'm a resident of Durham. I live in Central Park District. Recently, there was an issue with a sidewalk in my neighborhood. It was repaired in less than a week. I appreciate that responsiveness, but I know that is not the experience of every resident in the city. This is so there's an open sewage drainage issue in Oxford Manor currently. There's another open sewage draining right in front of the bus stop on Fayetteville Street, next to Food Lion. So these are not small cosmetic issues. These are environmental safety hazards. And I bring all this up because on October 17th, we had the joint city-county meeting to kind of introduce the violence reduction plan. I said at that time, and I say it again tonight, that Durham needs a true community violence intervention plan. Not just enforcement, not just reaction, but direct intervention. Community violence intervention includes a sector called ecological design. Ecological design means transforming the built environment to promote safety, health, and social connection, reducing violence before it happens, and interrupting it when it starts. That includes green infrastructure like bio whales and tree canopies, improved lighting and drainage, of course, and designing public spaces that increase visibility and social cohesion. When neighborhoods are neglected, when infrastructure is uneven, when some areas are fixed in a week and others wait indefinitely, that sends a message about whose safety is prioritized. This is a deep correlation between gentrification and violence. We cannot police our way out of structural neglect. While I hope that we can work towards establishing an Office of Violence Prevention one day, and hopefully that works alongside the Office of Community Safety, which I strongly support, we need a community violence intervention strategy now. The Office of Community Safety is important, but they cannot and should not do it all. Community must be centered. And here's the cost analysis I wanted to share tonight. In 2025, Durham had 39 homicides. The National Institute for Criminal Justice Reform says it's about $625,000 per homicide. So that's $24 million spent in 2025 on homicides. Again, $24 million. As of February 19th, 2026, we have already had 9 homicides and 20 people shot, which equals more than $10 million already this year that we spent. Imagine if we invested even a fraction of that into violence interrupters, which is the major difference between group violence intervention and community violence intervention. Imagine investing in ecological design, youth employment, community-led initiatives that does not share information with Durham police or the city government because trust matters. Violence interrupters must remain independent to be effective. And I'm a CVI organizer in North Carolina against gun violence. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, earlier we had a speaker online, Donald Hughes, I hear is online now.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, are y'all able to hear me?
We are. Welcome. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the council. My name is Donald Hughes, and I'm a resident of Durham. I'm going to talk a little bit about the budget today. A budget is a moral document. It's a values document, and it tells us what and who we are willing to invest in. As you prepare for next year's budget, you're making a decision about what we truly value in this city. Since many of you had praises for the Reverend Jesse Jackson upon his passing last month, I want to remind you what he actually said. America's real deficit is not in its budget, it's in its compassion. While we will hear from you that the budget is tight and that there are competing priorities, the real question is whether we have the courage to invest in our young people. Young people in our community, especially Black youth, are dying. Families are grieving. trauma is compounding. And as Reverend Jackson also reminded us, poverty is violence. When we fail to invest in jobs, mentorship, housing people can afford, and opportunity, that absence is not neutral. It is, in fact, active harm. In a recent interview, Mr. Mayor, you said that you are sick of commentators and you won't work with us. But where will we be without commentators in our society? I challenge your notion that commentary isn't part of the solution. The civil rights movement did succeed because leaders were commentating, and it didn't succeed, because leaders ignored critics or shut down dialogue. It succeeded because advocates, citizens, commentators, activists, they all spoke truth to power, demanded accountability, and forced institutions to act. Voices outside City Hall are not obstacles, but they are essential partners in realizing justice, safety, and community well-being. Where will we be without the Pearson moral commentary of James Baldwin? Where will we be without the prophetic voice of Reverend Jesse Jackson? Without the chorus of clergy like Dr. Reverend William Barber and organizers and writers and everyday citizens who refused to be silent during the civil rights movement? Commentary is not noise, but it's conscience. And since you were a music teacher, Mr. Mayor, maybe you'll understand this reference. What would the movement have been without the musical commentary of those like Nina Simone, Josephine Baker, and Sam Cooke? Songs like Mississippi Goddamn, A Change Is Gonna Come, and Strange Fruit were commentary. They were critique. They were a moral indictment set to melody, and they moved hearts in ways that policy memos could never. Commentary helped bend the arc of history toward justice. So when residents raise their voices about youth violence, about disinvestment and lost opportunity, that isn't obstruction, that is engagement, and that is a love for our city. So here's at least one solution that we know works: youth employment. A University of Chicago study found a 43% reduction in violent crime arrests among youth who participated in the summer jobs program. Reverend Jackson also said a rising tide may lift all boats, but you need a boat to rise with the tide. If we're growing Durham's economy and building these beautiful buildings, but fail to ensure that our young people have boats, then that growth is not justice. So as you finalize the budget, let it reflect compassion, let it reflect courage, let it reflect the belief that our young people are worth the investment. If we have to temporarily pause programs like participatory budgeting and giving $2 million to Escape
Thank
Park,
you,
let's
Mr.
do it.
Hughes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the time.
Thank you for your comments. Please email your comments as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's fix our most piercing issue. Let's make the community safer for our young people and everybody on all sides of the issue. I welcome your support. I welcome your engagement. Let's make it about the kids. Thank you. We are number 12, yeah. I'll entertain a motion to accept item number 12.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Madam Clerk, please open the vote. Please close the vote.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. I believe that's it. Have a good night. We're adjourned.